Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Kai, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my full breeding guide for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let's get straight into it. The guide I'll be sharing with you guys today will cover every aspect you could need within the game. Whether you are breeding for Pokemon which are shiny, competitive, or just for your general dex completion. Just so you are aware, some of the Pokemon cannot breed, which will contain mainly legendary Pokemon, paradox Pokemon, mythical Pokemon, and some others due to it being in undiscovered egg groups. All Pokemon with discovered egg groups can breed, being male or female Pokemon and some genderless Pokemon. The Larvitar here on screen only contains one egg group, being the monster egg group, meaning this Pokemon can breed with any female within this egg group, or a ditto. Keep in mind that some species of Pokemon have gender ratios. These rarely tend to be 1-to-1, which is about a 50% chance of being either male or female. However, most of the species will lean towards one or the other, being mostly male or mostly female. For example, your starter Pokemon have a 1 in 8 chance of being a female upon breeding with a compatible partner. This is why Ditto is so important for most people looking to breed, as the Ditto ignores gender completely and can be used to make eggs with any Pokemon in discovered egg groups. Once you've obtained your Ditto and the Pokemon you wish to breed with, you're going to need to do the following. Ensure that they are the only Pokemon in your party, and ensure that you have enough open space to make a picnic. Whilst in a picnic, you may go AFK, as wild Pokemon will not disturb you in this mode, and in the background, your Ditto and breeding Pokemon will start to make eggs every so often. Check the basket every now and then to receive your eggs, and they will automatically go into the first empty space in your boxes. You can manipulate your boxes in which the eggs are being sent into by doing the following. Open your boxes and head to a box you desire. Ensure that there is enough space for you to do what you would like. If you are shiny hunting, I recommend leaving a couple boxes empty so you can store multiple eggs. Once you are satisfied, if you back out to the menu and head back into your picnic, all eggs that you now receive will go straight into the last box that you were viewing before starting your picnic. During your picnic, you may have come across a sandwich feature and not thought much of it. This feature is essential for multiple reasons. However, in this guide, we will be showcasing an ability called Egg Power. Egg Power has 3 levels. However, level 2 is highly recommended, as there is not much difference between level 2 and level 3. These levels are locked behind your gym badges, however. Once you've received them all, you may go into a sandwich shop in which a gentleman will be stood there waiting to give you recipes, including a recipe for level 3 Egg Power sandwiches. The most cost-effective Egg Power Level 2 sandwich will be your Great Peanut Butter Sandwich, which contains bananas, peanut butter, and a pick. However, if you would like to upgrade that sandwich to Level 3, head into Creative Mode by hitting the X button in your Picnic game mode and make the following recipe with any 2 Herba Mystica on top, which is a post-game item that has a low chance of dropping from a 5 or 6 star raid. Egg Power greatly boosts the time in which it takes your Pokemon to spawn an egg into the basket, and it greatly boosts your hatching time when you are finished, both of which will efficiently help you if you are breeding multiple eggs, a key ingredient for shiny hunters. You may purchase sandwiches also with pre-made Egg Power, or alternatively, you may go to the shops around the map in Paldea and gather the ingredients yourself to make the sandwiches. Warning: if you make a sandwich and you close your game with autosave turned on, and then you reboot your game, for example the game crashes, the effects of your sandwich will disappear. I discourage you from closing your application during this process. However, you may take breaks by sitting on your home screen, as this will not affect the timer on your active sandwich. I recommend turning off autosave beforehand, just in case the game crashes or your Switch dies, just to ensure that you save your ingredients, especially if you are using Herba for the level 3. However, you may leave it on if you are mass producing Pokemon to save your progress. The choice is inevitably up to you. At the current time of recording, there are a bonus 7 Christmas DLC codes available, all of which will give you ingredients. The link for those codes will be in the description below. Quick message thrown into the middle of all of this. If you guys are enjoying the content so far, these types of videos do take quite a stretch of time to produce with all the information and research needed. A like and a sub would be a huge help, and let me know what you think of the video so far. Do you find this guide useful? And what are you going to be breeding your Pokemon down for? Again, thank you all so much for making this possible. With that out of the way, let's continue with the video. To hatch your eggs, all you will have to do is fill your party with the eggs you would like to hatch and move around. This will start the hatching process within a short period of time. To speed this up, you may use a Pokemon with the ability Flame Body. The most common Pokemon I would recommend for you to use would be a Fletchinder or a Talonflame, which is the evolution of Fletchling, which is a Pokemon you may find on the very first route of the game. The egg that will hatch will be the Pokemon you bred with the Ditto. However, if you are breeding with two separate Pokemon of the compatible egg groups, you will get the female of those two Pokemon. If you only want the one Pokemon from that species or line, then the guide is over for you. However, all of you who want to know how to breed competitive or shiny Pokemon, stay tuned as we'll be covering all of those for you now. We are going to be covering methods in which you can take that will influence the Pokemon that you will hatch. Using a Ditto as an example, if you are breeding with a Ditto that you caught yourself, you are going to have completely normal shiny odds and hatching times. However, if you then trade that Ditto with another person, but the same country as you, the hatching times will be increased. And if you take that further by trading a Ditto with someone from another language to your version, not only will the hatch rates be increased, but the chances of you finding a shiny will also increase. These types of Pokemon are known as Masuda Pokemon. The base rate of getting a shiny Pokemon from an egg is 1 in 4096. If you own the shiny charm, which is a reward for completing your Pokedex, it will decrease these odds down to 1 in 2048. If you use a Masuda Ditto, your odds then go to 1 in 683. However, if you use a Masuda Ditto and you own the shiny charm, your rate of finding a shiny goes all the way down to 1 in 512. Once you see the endgame credits, you will gain access to the judge function after talking to a nurse at the Poke Center. Once received, you can enter your boxes and look at your Pokemon's IVs. IVs are individual values and will always be randomized upon catching a wild Pokemon. IVs range from 1 to 6 per stat, 1 being the worst and 6 being the best. You cannot breed down bottle-capped IVs. If you are looking for high IV Pokemon such as Ditto, I recommend taking on 6-star raids, as they will always grant you a minimum of 5 perfect IVs each time. If you want to influence the stats of the Pokemon you're breeding, your Ditto's IVs can help accomplish that for you. Equip a Destiny Knot onto the Ditto. Destiny Knots are sold at a Delibird present store located on West Messagoza under Battle Items. They cost 20,000 Pokédollars. Between the Ditto and the Pokemon you are breeding, the game will randomly decide 5 of those 12 of which to pass down to your egg. If you breed your poor IV Pokemon until you hatch one with good IVs, it is then recommended to shiny hunt with that Pokemon instead, as the game will then choose 9 from the 12 as opposed to the original 5, always giving better stats on your offspring. If you don't want to go through the hassle of breeding a lot of Pokemon, just to get one with a good set of IVs, you may use an item called a Bottle Cap. These items permanently max your IVs via Hyper Training. However, these stats changes cannot be passed down by breeding and are locked onto that Pokemon. If you fly to the Mononevra Poke Center, you will find a gentleman stood next to an Abomasnow, which will hyper-train your Pokemon at the cost of bottle caps. This will only work on Pokemon that have surpassed level 50. Natures affects the stats of your Pokemon. For example, the Larvitar here is adamant, meaning it raises its physical attack, but lowers its special attack. There are many different natures that have these effects. You can also find neutral natures which do not change any of the stats at all, such as Naive. When breeding down your Pokemon, they will always hatch with a random nature. However, if you have a nature that you would like to pass down, you may want to use an Everstone. In the Delibird present store located in West Messagoza, you can purchase one of these stones for 3,000 Pokédollars. If you don't want to pass on natures and would just like the nature boost itself, you can use a Mint. Mint, like bottle caps, will make changes to your Pokemon, which in this case will be the nature, that cannot be passed down through breeding. Having both a Ditto holding a Destiny Knot and your breeding Pokemon holding an Everstone, the game will pass down IVs as discussed beforehand and will also pass down the nature onto the egg that you are trying to produce. If you would like to breed regional exclusive Pokemon such as this Hisuian Cyndaquil, I would highly recommend you give that Pokemon an Everstone. Giving it an Everstone makes it keep the form of which region it came from. However, if you then take that Everstone away and breed said Cyndaquil, it will then breed into its original Johto form, allowing you to switch between the two. Keep in mind, if you breed down to the Johto Cyndaquil, you cannot breed it into a Hisuian Cyndaquil anymore. Egg moves in this game couldn't be simpler. Egg moves are moves that a Pokemon can learn from other species of Pokemon. In this game, we can learn these moves by using a new item called a Mirror Herb located in the Delibird present store. The best part of all of this, we don't have to breed down for egg moves anymore. So, let's use Azumarill as an example. We want to teach Azu the move Belly Drum, which is a move that Azu cannot learn with either TMs or leveling up. However, if we give Azu a Mirror Herb, and we remove one of the moves that it knows already, and then we bring the 2 Pokemon into our party and go into a picnic, as you can see here, Azu has copied the Belly Drum move from the other Pokemon into its own move pool. Keep in mind, if you forget the move, or if you relearn a move over it, it cannot be remembered and you have to do this process again. Just to let you know as well, if you try to breed this Pokemon and give the offspring Belly Drum, that will not work. You'll have to do the traditional breeding down moves method. Thank you all so much for watching. This is definitely one of the biggest projects yet, and I'm super excited to share this video with you all. That's going to be it for today, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.